These are your latest news updates. Severe weather across the central United States is turning deadly after powerful storms swept through parts of Oklahoma. Authorities say a mother and daughter were killed while driving during extreme weather conditions as heavy rainfall, strong winds, and flash flooding created dangerous roadways across several counties. Emergency responders in Oklahoma City and surrounding areas reported multiple accidents overnight as storms moved across the region, leaving communities dealing with flooded streets and storm damage. Meanwhile, in Winder, Georgia, a major court decision has been reached in one of the most closely watched school shooting cases in the country. A jury has found Colin Gray guilty in connection with the deadly school shooting carried out by his son. Prosecutors argued that Gray's actions and access to firearms contributed to the circumstances that allowed the tragedy to occur. Legal experts say the verdict could influence future cases across the United States, particularly those involving parental responsibility and firearm access when minors are involved in violent crimes. In Washington, D.C., the Trump administration is also undergoing a significant political shift after President Donald Trump confirmed that Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem has been removed from her position. The decision follows intense scrutiny surrounding policies within the Department of Homeland Security, as well as internal disagreements about immigration enforcement and border security strategies. The administration has indicated that a new nominee for the position will be announced soon as the department continues overseeing national security and immigration operations. Another major development coming out of Washington involves the Justice Department releasing previously missing FBI interview records connected to the investigation into financier Jeffrey Epstein. Officials say the newly disclosed documents include interviews with a woman who had previously made claims involving Donald Trump years before he became president. The records are part of a broader release of investigative material related to the Epstein case, which has continued to raise questions about how federal authorities handled certain aspects of the investigation before Epstein's death in federal custody in New York City in 2019. Legal analysts say the release of these documents could renew scrutiny over how powerful individuals connected to Epstein were investigated. Public opinion across the United States is also showing division over the country's current military actions overseas. A new national poll suggests Americans remain split on whether U.S. military operations targeting Iran should continue. Supporters argue the strikes are necessary to deter threats and protect allies in the region, while critics warn the United States could become drawn deeper into a broader international conflict. Turning now to international developments, tensions across the Middle East continue to escalate, following a series of military operations involving Iran, Israel, and the United States. Israeli forces have launched additional airstrikes in Tehran and other strategic areas across Iran, targeting military infrastructure and government-linked facilities. Israeli officials say the operations are designed to weaken Iran's military capabilities and prevent further escalation in the region following the death of Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, which has left the country navigating a period of political uncertainty. President Donald Trump addressed the situation from the White House in Washington, describing the recent strikes as what he called the last best chance to eliminate threats posed by Iran's military leadership and nuclear ambitions. The president warned that the situation remains volatile and acknowledged that further casualties may occur if Iran launches additional retaliatory strikes against U.S. or Israeli forces. One of the most controversial developments connected to the conflict involves a deadly strike that hit a girls' school in Iran, where international observers say approximately 150 people were killed. Some analysts believe U.S. forces may have been involved in the operation, although American officials have not confirmed direct responsibility. The strike has sparked international concern and condemnation from humanitarian organizations and several world leaders. Military operations in the region have also raised legal and strategic questions after an Iranian naval vessel was reportedly sunk during operations in the Persian Gulf. The destruction of the ship has prompted debate among international law experts about whether the action falls within existing authorization for military force. Critics argue that incidents like this could broaden the conflict and potentially pull additional countries into the crisis. The conflict has also taken a toll on American forces deployed in the region. U.S. defense officials confirmed that several American troops were killed after a fortified military trailer housing soldiers was struck during combat operations connected to the conflict with Iran. Pentagon officials say the structure had been reinforced to protect troops from attack, but the strike still resulted in significant casualties, highlighting the risks faced by U.S. service members stationed throughout the Middle East.